Hello, folks. Welcome to the show. My name is Rico. Today, I want to discuss expat strategic planning for living near the province of the Philippines. The reason for this topic is that I notice a lot of expats building big houses near the province areas. As a matter of fact, that is something I would like to do myself someday. I also have friends in America who say they would like to build a house near the province so they could do farming. Planning for provincial life brings a unique set of opportunities and challenges for expats considering a long term migration to the Philippines. A comprehensive living strategy must consider a variety of strategic variables, including long term leasing, property ownership through marriage to a Filipino native, and the option of farming. We will look at how each of these factors will be, with a focus on how expats might effectively navigate the intricacies of rural life in the Philippines. Relocating to the Philippines countryside takes careful planning and a defined strategy. Expats must consider a variety of factors, including legal restrictions on land ownership, employment opportunities, and lifestyle preferences. Expats seeking to settle in the Philippines encounter numerous barriers because the Philippine Constitution clearly prohibits them from owning land. Nonetheless, there are legal methods to live and work in the country, particularly when considering long term leases and marriage to a Filipino person. Only Filipino citizens and corporations with at least 60% Filipino ownership are eligible to hold land under the Philippine Constitution. Expats cannot own land outright. However, you can still exercise your land use rights through legal means such as long term leases. Expats can sign leases for private land for up to 25 years with the option to extend for another 25 years. A formal lease agreement should include clear conditions for tenure, payment, and land use. The lease may be used for agricultural, home, or other specific purposes. Ensure that the land is correctly zoned. Long term lease agreements are the most feasible option for expats to avoid land ownership limits. The Investors Lease Act, which took effect in December 2024, significantly extended the existing lease periods of 75 years by allowing expats to lease land for up to 99 years. This law provides a firm platform for expats looking to build homes or start enterprises, and it aims to attract international money. Long term leases can be used for commercial, residential, or agricultural purposes, depending on the zoning of the property. Lease terms, payment schedules, and land use limitations should all be carefully considered to establish a stable leasing deal. Contracts must also be filed with the Department of Trade and Industry's Board of Investments. Leaseholders may sublease the property as long as they follow the terms of the lease. This flexibility may be useful to foreign nationals who want to augment their income through rental properties. Confirm the land title with the Land Registration Authority to ensure that the lessor is the genuine owner and that no liens or disagreements exist over the property. To avoid fraud, seek referrals or work with reputable real estate brokers. Discuss renewal conditions, approve land enhancements, and payment schedules. To protect your rights, have a local lawyer draft or review the lease agreement and register it with the Land Registration Authority. Obtain the necessary licenses from the local authorities and confirm with your lessor that construction is allowed. Expats can expect transparency and lawfulness. Freedom to depart without having to cope with the complexities of selling land allows the development of unique dwellings in rural locations. In contrast to ownership, there's restricted authority over the land. Possible differences in terms of renewals with the lessor. For expats, building their homes is the next step after securing a long term lease. The local office of the building official is where expats must apply for a building permit. Residential use must be permitted on the property and adhering to the National Building Code is required. Additional approvals, including environmental compliance certificates or local government zoning clearances, can be required depending on the province. To make sure the structure is appropriate for the local climate and environment, it is advised to work with local contractors who are knowledgeable about the building codes and materials that are frequently used in the area. Building expenses, especially when leases last several decades, must take into account local labor rates, material pricing, and inflation. Potential homeowners should plan ahead of time and budget for any unexpected costs that may develop throughout the construction process. Marrying a Filipino citizen is another wise decision for expats wishing to settle in the Philippines permanently. This can help with property ownership in several ways. Although expats are not permitted to purchase land in the Philippines, they may possess residential property in the name of their Filipino spouse. The following are crucial elements of ownership and rights. Properties can be registered in the name of the Filipino spouse, granting the foreign spouse special usage and occupation rights. Unless otherwise agreed, all property acquired during a marriage is subject to the absolute community of property system, which normally assumes joint ownership by both spouses. If the Filipino spouse dies, the foreign spouse cannot inherit the land outright, but they may live and work on it. This article emphasizes the need for estate planning tools, including agreements and wills, usufruct rights, which allow the foreign spouse to use the property as if they owned it for a set period of time, usually until death, can be negotiated. Marriage creates opportunities, but it also raises a need for partners to communicate clearly about money and property issues. Prenuptial agreements might provide additional security. A well written prenuptial agreement can clarify how property will be managed and clearly define ownership rights, potentially avoiding future conflicts. To ensure mutual understanding and openness, both partners can decide how assets will be developed, preserved, and shared. And expats can blend into local communities and cultures while also supplementing their income through gardening. Agricultural activity, through a variety of channels, can provide both nutritional benefits and income opportunities. Understanding the local farming environment is critical for expats interested in agricultural careers. The terms of the Investors Lease Act allow foreign investors to lease agricultural land with specific restrictions. This is typically a long term lease that allows for the production of animals or crops. It is critical to understand how land is classified, whether as urban, rural, or agricultural. The comprehensive agrarian reform law must be observed when farming on agricultural land, which may limit the variety of operations. Rice, corn, and a range of fruits and vegetables are examples of seasonal crops that thrive in the Philippine climate and can raise productivity while also benefiting local markets. Building relationships with local communities is critical for a good provincial living experience, and farming provides a unique opportunity to do so. Learning about local farmers' practices, market opportunities, and land management strategies can help enhance agricultural success rates. Cooperatives can boost profitability by pooling resources, expertise, and market access. Local cooperatives can assist expats with marketing campaigns, manufacturing issues, and supplier relationships. Effectively resolving property ownership restrictions while leveraging legal options like long term leases and marrying a Filipino are key components of strategic planning for expats wishing to relocate to the Philippine provinces. Furthermore, agricultural activities can generate long term incomes that promote individual and collective growth. Expats can successfully negotiate the challenges of rural living and establish satisfying lives in the stunning Philippines by carefully comprehending legal frameworks, devoting time and resources to constructing residential buildings, fostering community ties, and investigating agricultural opportunities. All right, folks, that is all for today's show. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good day.